everyone. This is Channel 8, the local sports network, in association with our partners Bizz 99.9 FM. I am your host and lead commentator, Chukka Wilson, and I welcome you to this broadcast. Today we're going to be seeing round 8 of the G4 grade in the 2017-18 season, Rosanna versus Diamond Creek, here at Shelley Park in Heidelberg Heights. Welcome, one and all, to this wonderful game of cricket. Welcome back. So we are here at the Shelley Park in Heidelberg Heights to watch Rosanna versus Diamond Creek in the G4 grade of the 2017-18 season. This is round 8 and it is the 27th of January. Now Rosanna did play last round, which was in the middle of January, but Diamond Creek did not because they had a bye. So this is actually Diamond Creek's first game in the G4 grade of the 2018 year. This is of course Channel 8, the local sports network, and this is the first time that we have ever travelled outside of the Diamond Creek area. The previous games of this season we have been at Diamond Creek either at Coventry Oval, Marngrook Oval or Campbell Street Oval, and now we are here at Shelley Park in Heidelberg Heights. It was about an hour-long trip, and we're very appreciative of all the hospitality we're getting from the Heidelbergians, and we hope that we are going to be seeing some very good cricket here at this lovely ground. So let's take a look at the ladder just to get a sense of why this game might be of some importance. So let's start with the top of the ladder, undefeated, well above in terms of quality and skill and talent and performances than the rest of the competition. We have Hurstbridge, who are 6-0 on 42 points. And so every game they've played, they have just been way above their opponents, and it's been a set of comfortable, dominating victories. Then we have two teams who are in second place with 30 points, and the thing that is separating them is the WL count. So Plenty are technically in second place. They have 4-2 as their count, and they are on 30 points with just the one bye. And then in third place, technically, we have Panton Hill, who have one less win. They are 3-2, and the difference is that they have an extra bye, but they are also on 30 points. And now we come to one of the participants of this game. We have Diamond Creek, who have lost an extra game than everyone else in the top 4. They are on 3-3. So unlike the rest of the teams that are playing in the top 4 right now that are destined to be playing in the finals, Diamond Creek does not have a positive win-loss ratio. They are actually even. So that would be the major difference between Diamond Creek and the other teams currently in the G4 grade. But Diamond Creek are presently quite a margin ahead of their next best team, and so they are currently in the top 4. They are currently looking to play finals, but they are going to have to put up some good results both today and through February to make sure that they've solidified their spot. Today, of course, is a one-day game. It's 34 overs each, so it's going to be we're going to see a winner by the end of today. And then in fifth place, we have the Research Eltham Collegians, who are on 2-4 with 18 points, so they are a game behind Diamond Creek. And currently, Research Eltham Collegians hold that 5th space outright. And then we have 2 teams that are on the bottom of the ladder. I should just remind everyone that there used to be 8 teams, but Lorimer Teal was removed from this particular league, and so now there is only just the 7 teams. So technically there's more teams that are going to be in the finals than not, which is an unusual state of affairs, but there you go. So Rosanna and Mill Park are both 1-5 with 12 points. So the thing about this competition is that because there's only 7 teams and 4 of them will get into the finals, the actual way that you can get in is much simpler. You don't, if there was more teams that were going to miss out than get in, then you would have the standard of how many wins and how many points you would have had to get would be higher. So there is still hope for both Mill Park and Rosanna to actually get in the finals. And that's why this game, although it looks like a straightforward clash, I would definitely say it's not, because Rosanna know that if they can win today and then win through the games of February, they can actually get a spot in the finals, and they can slot into that 4th place position and actually get into the finals. And so they've got to be thinking, we can do this, we can turn our season around, we can flip over this 1-5 count and make it something more respectable, like 3-5 and 4-5 maybe even. So that's got to be what they are aiming for. They have got to think we can get enough points to get into the finals. We just have to fight this through. So as for Diamond Creek, they are obviously in the driver's seat. They're in pole position. They know that if they can win today, it almost locks up the top 4. It means that the top 3 teams are basically solidified, and the only team that's vulnerable to getting kicked out is Diamond Creek, because they are a game behind everyone else, and they are only a game ahead of Research Eltham Collegians. But Diamond Creek know that if they win today, then they can be expecting to play in the finals come mid-March. But Rosanna obviously can turn this around if they win today, and then it'll be depending on what happens through the course of February. So those are the current standings as far as these 2 teams are concerned, and as far as the G4 grade is concerned. Now, we will be broadcasting one more game from the G4 later on this season, and so it'll be the last game of the home and away season. And so it might be a situation where Diamond Creek need to win that game in order to actually get into the finals, or they might actually be already in the finals and they're just preparing the way. So we'll just have to wait and see, but don't despair, fans of the G4. There is more content coming. There is more cricket coming for the G4. This is the one-day game, and then we'll have a 2-dayer later on. But for now, let's just enjoy this one-day game that we are about to witness. Okay, so let's take a break now. This is Channel 8, the local sports network, in association with our partners Bizz 99.9 FM Substitute Radio. We are watching Rosanna versus Diamond Creek Round 8 of the G4 in the 2017-18 season. This is Shelley Park in Heidelberg Heights. It's time to take a break now, and when we come back, we've got more of the morning show.
Sometimes I want to take it from a little to a lot, and I am spinning in a circle like a dizzy little top, and I am calling all the people I'd forgotten about and trying to tell them that I'd figured it out, but it's a lie, and all the stupid things I say and do and never really stop when I should never have begun. I really ought to drop it, but it's faster when you don't even have time to stop and think about the things that you were saying, cause they never really matter. But it's empty spaces in the air, fill it up, fill it up, fill it up. Oh no, all the million little empty spaces in the air, fill it up, fill it up, fill it up. Oh no, oh no, oh no. But I never was a fighter, and I never was a poet, and I never was a writer, though you never really know it, cause I'm full of all the knowledge that you needed to know, and I will share it if you're ready or not, because I know I heard that Jamie was a wicked fan and Timmy's dropping out, and all the other little things that I was thinking about, like how mosquitoes have malaria and dogs have lice. I could go on for half an hour, cause I hate to leave a million little empty spaces in the air, fill it up, fill it up, fill it up. Oh no, oh no, all the million little empty spaces in the air, fill it up, fill it up, fill it up. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Economy of speech is not a virtue, it's a sin. I never want to tell you once what I could say again and again and again and again and again. And I know you want to tell me what you think of what I say. I promise you that I will give you time later to weigh in if you want to, if you want to. But I forgot to tell you, I was heading out to take my puppy for a walk, and then the strangest little thing came out and ran across the sidewalk. It might have been a squirrel or a chipmunk or a prairie dog, but something about the tail wasn't right, but that's another story. Everyone just stopped and stared with blank expressions, motionless. For a second everything was silent and commotionless. I turned, I said to Fluffy, that's a cute little Saturday, but then it went scampering off, and that was better than the empty spaces in the air, fill it up, fill it up, fill it up. Oh no, all the million little empty spaces in the air, fill it up, fill it up, fill it up. Oh no, oh no, fill it up, fill it up, fill it up, fill it up, fill it up.
Okay, so now let's take a look at the two teams. So let's start with the home team, Rosanna. There is Steve Austin, the wicketkeeper Christopher York, the captain Dougal McCulloch, Sid Dale, Patrick Lawson, Benjamin Walkso, Maxwell Balcom, Deepesh Goswami, Duncan Sanderson, Owen McConville, and Anya Goswami. Okay, now let's have a look at the Diamond Creek team. We have Kane Sexton, the wicketkeeper and captain Jackson Bellingham, Craig Oakley, Damien Evans, Bradley Conybeare, Thomas Jones, Ashley Wilson, Perry Jory, Ryan Whedon, William Jones, and Joshua Farah.
History repeats itself in the patterns in the stone. We close our eyes and fumbling, we listen or we don't. The anchor man is babbling, weatherman's a liar. The sports report's a waste of time for the bored and the tired. And the past is all we talk about, 'cause it's all we've ever known. I won't go back to the simple life in the comfort of the womb. I'm finding a new road home. If I'm late for my own funeral, let me hold you up. Just tell them I've got other plans, I've got work to do. The tide is on the brink of extinction. The sky is on the verge of collapse. The birds and the trees all are falling like leaves. The memories are floating away. The cabins on the shore are abandoned. The streets are just a river of dust. The ships on the bay all go sailing away. They won't be back here again.
Now, just a quick word on the state of the weather. So we've had another bout of intense humidity. It's not that hot. So yesterday was in the mid-20s, and it was so humid that just by going outside for a walk, you were getting all icky and sweaty. And now it's in the mid-30s. The original projected temperature was going to be in the high 30s, which might have cooled off the game, but it's in the mid-30s, so we are still playing. But it's very, very humid out here. Like you just get sweaty just by walking around. It's and it's also very hot. The sun is very, very strong today. There are just a few small white clouds, but other than that, it is a very, very sunny day. And it's going to be very exhausting for the field. Thankfully, it's a one-day game, so you only have to spend a couple of hours in the field, and then you can go into the dressing room for a rest, because that's what you'll need, because it is quite a confronting situation here. It's quite a lot to deal with, and yes, so that's the situation at hand.
Town, on the silent streets and all around. Its crescent's growing larger every time I close my eyes. The burning lamplights on Main Street on this deserted Tuesday night are calling for a sign of life to consume their fire. As the girl sits alone on a bench, she's waiting for a ride, moment of clarity. Or perhaps she is not waiting for anything at all, and she's content to watch the street lights and the moon on the concrete. She's been there for as long as I have seen it, maybe longer. Maybe she has always been there as a living statue. She commemorates a saint who had fallen some years past, and has drifted from the spotlight and is nothing more than a shadow of a shadow. And her face, it is carved with a purpose, and nobody knows her destiny, not even this girl, who sits all alone on the bench under the moon and the streetlights, and she stares at something in the distance, motionless. Even the winds are asleep at this hour, and the clouds are laying low on the horizon upon pillows of more clouds. And the soft orange glow of the sleeping sky casts down on the sleeping earth. And she will rise when the morning sun consumes the fog, and a soft orange glow becomes the fallen saint, hidden by the shadow of a shadow, burned by the spotlight, invisible. Gone. spaghetti stains and flat champagne. This evening is behind us. I lay my head on the same old bed, and I dream of the same old dreams. One life behind, one more to go. The autumn leaves, the winter snow. It sure don't plow itself, you know. So grab a shovel, 'cause it's time to go. Every morning's just the morning after. Every day we're fleeing from disaster. Every night is passing even faster, leaving way for the morning after. It's time that holds us on this earth. Without it we'd be floating in the universe, and we'd be nothing but a timeless pile of atoms in a vacuum. There's nowhere to move if we could. So toss a log on the fire, and let me tell you about my one desire. When this fire has burned away, I wanna light it up again someday. Every morning's just the morning after. Every day we're fleeing from disaster. Every night is passing even faster, leaving way for the morning after.
Now, we will end up filming 3 games of the Diamond Creek in the G4 grade. We've already seen one of them, which was against Mill Park at Campbell Street Oval. Now, the significant aspect of that game was, of course, that it was a very high-scoring affair. Campbell Street is a very high-scoring ground, and it was very easy to score runs, very easy to score boundaries, very easy for the ball to get roughed up and old and doesn't swing anymore. And that is when batting is easy to score, and that's why Diamond Creek ended up scoring 330 from their 68 overs, and the two Centurions were Keenan Carr and Callan Gleeson, and then a 47 was scored by Ashley Wilson. Now, significantly, because of the way that course a season for a club, different players go on breaks, different gaps fill up in different teams, and then your side ends up being very different than what it was originally. And so the Diamond Creek team doesn't have Keenan Carr anymore, and it doesn't have Callan Gleeson anymore. So the two Centurions are gone, and so the two top batting will likely be the captain, Jackson Bellingham, who played the previous game in the G3 grade, because G4 the Diamond Creek G4 had a bye last round. It meant that he became available, and the G3 team needed a wicketkeeper, and so Jackson was promoted. Now, the other player will obviously be Ashley Wilson. Okay, so now we see the Diamond Creek players walking out to the middle, and so the point I was making by pointing that high-scoring game is that now that those two are not playing, now that Ashley Wilson and Jackson Bellingham are the two top batsmen, and there's no Callan Gleeson or Keenan Carr, how are Diamond Creek going to chase down a score? What will they need to do in order to actually accomplish this? So those are some open-ended questions. We will have to just watch and figure out what's going to happen here. But this is going to be important because obviously they've got a lot of bowling attack, a lot of bowling options. The Diamond Creek team have plenty. They've got at least 7 options primarily, and then they could bring on basically anyone else from their 11 to bowl, even the wicketkeeper. So there's certainly no shortage of options in terms of who can bowl. And that's what is significant here, is that so they should be able to bowl well and keep Rosanna to a small score, but then how are they going to chase it down? Who are the run scorers? Who is going to do this? So that is what we're going to find out here as everyone just starts to take up their positions. We've already got the Diamond Creek fielders are in position, and we've got the Rosanna batsmen, and now the two umpires are just getting into position now, and so everything will be getting underway very soon. Okay, it's time to take a break now, and when we come back, we've got ball 1. This is Channel 8, the local sports network, and we are about to see Diamond Creek versus Rosanna in the G4 grade.
Captain of the football team, he's got the prom queen, but he's got no self-esteem, and he hides beneath the sheets while he cries himself to sleep. And that prom queen's got her own concerns. Yeah, the bottle's dry, but still she never learns, and so she fills it up again. And she drinks to broken men. And she's overboard, surrendered and ignored. So this is how it feels to lose the war. Shots in his ass, while the skater wins by cracking kneecaps, and we all keep tuning in as if somebody's gonna win. And Superman is just another sham. Yeah, Clark works nights at the Tinker's Dam, selling porno mags to dirty men, so he can pay the rent in his rat trap pig pen. And he's overboard, surrendered and ignored. So this is how it feels to lose the war. Everybody's floating on their own decrepit boat, and everybody's fighting just to keep it all afloat. Oh, the president is just another man, just pushing buttons with a half-baked plan, like a stoner with a PS2. And he's playing games all afternoon, and he's just trying to beat his daddy's score. But it's a different time, and it's a different war, and he thinks his game is wearing thin. You need a faster thumb if you are gonna win. And he's overboard, surrendered and ignored. So this is how it feels to lose. And we were strong before, now we're naked on the floor. So this is how it feels to lose the war. West Side girl going to an East Side bar. West Side girl going to an East Side bar. Well, no damn good can come of this. Those West Side lips and an East Side kiss. West Side girl going to an East Side bar. Well, tonight it's gonna all hang out. Someone's in without a doubt when a West Side girl's going to an East Side bar. Buckshot Bob, sugar baby on the prowl. Buckshot Bob, sugar baby on the prowl. The music's playing loud as hell. Her motivation is hard to tell. Buckshot Bob, sugar baby on the prowl. Scooter D's getting cruder by the hour. Scooter D's getting cruder by the hour. He's a flannel-toting East Side hick, and he's a staring and winking at the West Side chick. Scooter's getting ruder by the hour. Well, tonight it's gonna all hang out. Someone's in without a doubt when a West Side girl's going to an East Side bar. Buckshot Bob, he's sick of sipping on his bud. Buckshot Bob, he's sick of sipping on his bud. He's standing up to make his play. Now Scooter gets in Bobby's way. Buckshot Bobby reaches for his empty bud. And now we smash that bottle on the bar as Scooter grabs the pickle jar and chucks it right at Bobby's fuming face. Well, he misses by a mile or two, and the barkeep grabs his 22, and a Bobby and a Scooter went a running from that place. I sat my ass down beside the West Side girl. Sat my ass down beside the West Side girl. I said, well, this is better one crazy night. Well, baby, won't you come home with me tonight? Now I got West Side girl gonna rock my East Side world. Now I got a West Side girl gonna rock my East Side